I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House NYC. This week, homes defy convention, including architectural stunners from South Florida to this unique Hollywood Hills abode.
The house is a tall, skinny box perched on a steep hill.
Plus, how this design duo created a passive house in their classic Brooklyn townhome.
The house is net zero, so we have no energy bills whatsoever, and we're really having the lowest impact on the planet.
But before all that, we see how this designer turned his client's sky-high apartment into a tailored and fashionable showstopper.
How's this for an office? Talk about working from home in style.
Welcome to Open House NYC, everyone. This week we are exploring some dazzling designs, so it's fitting that we're starting things off with designer Alvin Wayne at his client's sky-high apartment on the Lower East Side. Alvin took what was essentially a glass box with views and brought a sense of style, swagger, and drama without losing functionality and comfort. The result is a unique home that feels tailored yet relaxed. And the views, well, they're not so bad either. Let's train him for a closer look.
Hi, I'm Alvin, and I want to welcome you to my client's apartment here on the Lower East Side. The goal with this project was to take this glass box in the sky and turn it into a sexy, sophisticated, and cozy dwelling for my fabulous fashionista client. Let's take a look. The drama begins right here in the entryway. It sets the tone for the home. As soon as you walk in, you see this beautiful view of New York City framed by these oversized windows. Because of the natural light, I painted these walls dark. It gives the space a sense of warmth, coziness, and a bit of drama. We also added this gilded mirror, perfect for selfies or the last look before a night out. And sometimes a great night means staying in. Let me show you where that happens. The great room is big enough for a sleek kitchen, dining room, and this cozy living room. And let me tell you, it's difficult to make a room like this feel cozy simply because you feel like you're floating above Manhattan. And while it's an uplifting view, I had to find a way to ground it, and that began with this sofa. My client wanted something that was warm and comfortable, a place that she can cozy up to watch TV or enjoy the view. But that doesn't mean it had to be boring. We brought in a bit of drama by upholstering it in black velvet. And we accessorized it with these green pillows and this Tibetan tiger pillow. And this coffee table is a solid slab of marble, custom designed from Indonesia. This nook was a natural place for the television, but we also didn't want to miss the opportunity to create a stylish vignette. It started with this concrete pattern wallpaper, which we chose as an homage to the city we love. My client collected crystals with her dad growing up, so you'll see crystals throughout the entire space, including right here. We rounded this area out with the plant. In fact, plants are essential to the design of this project. They make an appearance everywhere you turn. In the dining room, we kept things simple with this mango wood table. On one side, we added these mid-century modern genre chairs, and on the other side, we did a bench to not obstruct the view. This is a front row seat to all of the action. And for a centerpiece, of course, a crystal. Overhead, we placed this industrial style light. What I love about it is during the day, it feels like bubbles, and at night, it feels like twinkling stars in the sky. And what's a dining room without a bar cart? We turned this flex space into a home office and a gym. Traditionally speaking, not the most exciting places for design, but I wanted to change that. We painted this wall the same color as in the entryway, which is the perfect backdrop for this neon sign that says the world is yours. Plus, it's extra motivation for those morning workouts. And isn't this the perfect place for a sofa? And we chose this low profile beauty because it doesn't take up too much space. And framed by these plants and all this natural light, it's yet another great place to take a selfie. And for the focal wall, we went with this graphic black and white wallpaper. I love the sense of movement it gives the space, and we rounded it off with this gold mirror. How's this for an office? Talk about working from home in style. The vibe for the bedroom was all about peace and serenity. We repeated the color from the entryway on the wall and kept everything else neutral. Low-profile furniture like this bed allows the view to take center stage. Another defining feature of this room are all the reflective surfaces, like the dresser, the side tables, and all the sculptural mirrors. And one of my favorite features in the home is this chair. It's leather, low profile, and oh so luscious. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed my latest project. Like all great projects, it was a beautiful collaboration between designer and client, resulting in this warm and sophisticated home in the sky. Till next time.
Coming up in just a bit, we're in Brooklyn to see how this classic townhouse has been impeccably updated for today and tomorrow. See what I mean in just a few. Welcome back, everyone. New York City has always strived to be a city of the future, and our next two architects have fully embraced that ethos in their work. When principals Ruth Mandl and Bobby Johnston of Co-Adaptive Architecture renovated their Bed-Stuy Brooklyn townhouse, they built it for the next century by making it fully passive within its classic facade. Let's join them for a closer look.
I'm Bobby Johnston.
And I'm Ruth Mandl.
And we're co-founders of Co-Adaptive Architecture. Welcome to our home.
So this house was built in 1889. It sits on a beautiful tree-lined block here in Bedford Station.
At our firm, Co-Adaptive, we work on restoring a lot of townhouses to passive house standards.
So in our own home, it was important to make it passive, to invest in the future, particularly for our daughter. The house is net zero, so we have no energy bills whatsoever, and we can't wait to show it to you.
In the living room, we preserved a lot of the details that we wanted to keep, but we also modernized it to meet the passive house standard.
We kept the two original pocket door openings, and we moved the fireplace that was in the back of the house to the front of the house. We loved its asymmetry, and we restored all of the plasterwork on the ceiling. The windows are really the height of form and functions. Not only are they beautiful, but they're doing a really good job at insulating the house. I love our floors. They are Pennsylvania white oak, laid in a herringbone pattern.
So our library is sorted by color. Most of the books are architectural, but this is a living bookcase, so we have books for cooking, travel, and our daughter's books as well.
The furniture in here is mostly about comfort. We have a very comfy sectional, and of course, a rocking chair.
We relocated the kitchen to the parlor level and brightened it up. The design of the kitchen really started with the materials that we're using.
For the countertop material, we used an engineered stone that looks a little bit like concrete.
Plywood's a great material because you can get a nice clean edge on it, it's inexpensive, and it's versatile. We used it here on all the door frames, window frames, and the pegboard in the kitchen.
We put in a full-length glass door leading into our yard, and we replaced the existing windows with new passive house windows. On the cabinets, you'll see the green that inspired the color on the front door, and also in the lights that hang above our dining table. I really find these colors calming.
The kitchen is open to the dining room, and it's really the heart of the house where we have all of our meals, entertain,
and come together as a family.
In our bedroom, we kept the proportions the same to the original proportions. The main things that we did were increase the storage and the sound isolation.
The bedroom we kept relatively simple. We have some mid-century modern walnut furnishings and a bookcase.
Here, like the rest of the house, we have the passive house windows shrouded in exposed apple ply.
We kept the materials in the bathroom very light and simple. On the walls, we used big sheets of glass, and the floor has big format porcelain tile. The materials are easy to maintain over time because you don't have all those grout lines to keep clean, which goes along with our philosophy of keeping the house around for another 130 years. Often when people hear passive house, they think it's very technical.
But we find it's really the best way to live.
It's quiet, the air is constantly filtered, and we're really having the lowest impact on the planet.
Thanks for stopping by.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we explore this unique home in the Hollywood Hills with the architect that created it. We'll see you in just a few. Welcome back, everyone. The Hollywood Hills is no misnomer, so building a house in this steep, though stunning terrain can be a challenge. But architect Sarah Graham used this challenge as inspiration. She designed her own home to feel larger than it actually is, with loft-like proportions, innovative touches, and an easy, gentle flow. Just like a SoCal breeze at sunset. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Sarah Graham. I'm an architect. This is a house that my partner Mark Angelil and I built for ourselves. The neighborhood, Beachwood Canyon, was a housing development in the early 20s. They're the ones who put the iconic sign up that then read Hollywoodland. We had no idea that Beachwood Canyon would be such a wonderful place to live, and it was a great decision. The house is a tall, skinny box that is perched on a steep hill. So it was really quite a puzzle to fit this little house into the site itself. From the street, we have a lot of stairs. We have 53 steps from the street level to the living room floor. And we terrace the landscape in such a way to have very, very generous and continuous spaces throughout. In the living room, one sees the structure. We wanted to bring the last of the western sun, which is on the hillside, into the space in the afternoon. The only place that the roof meets the walls is at these 8 tapered steel beams. They're held down by a tension cable at each beam, and basically the lid floats above the box. When our giant slider doors, which is the largest one could have made at that time, open, you are in the garden and eucalyptus leaves blow in. Continuing our tradition of large openings open to the outside is in the dining room we put in an overhead garage door. Continuing beyond is the kitchen, but it's still not fully separated because of a pass-through. Beyond the kitchen, we have another double height space that we fondly call the elevator room, because if one would ever want to put in an elevator from the garage up, we needed a place for the elevator to land. Beyond that is the guest bedroom. The bed is actually a desk that converts into a bed for the simple reason that we work more than we have guests. We are now in the second floor, which is my favorite place to work. Here I'm still open to the big space. Looking down on it from above, you have the seasons, you have the time of day measured by the light. I keep talking about light because that's what the house is all about. So you're part of life. That's it for the tour. Thank you for joining us in our house, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Coming up, we head to Fort Lauderdale for a look at this home that was inspired by the influential Sarasota School of Architecture. We'll see how in just a few. Welcome back. Now we're in Fort Lauderdale at this riverfront architectural gem designed by architect Max Strang. He shows off a home that feels vibrant, exciting, and always unexpected. Inside or out, rain or shine. Take a look.
My name is Max Strang. I'm an architect, and welcome to the subtropics here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. This is a fascinating house in the fact that it is an evolution of Florida modernism. It's really a site-specific and climate-driven design. For me, what makes this house especially interesting is how we've incorporated these long spans and also some architectural elements that provide shade, protection from the sun, provide privacy. And when those things all work together, you get some really fascinating architecture. Once you enter the great room, you're rewarded with some great views, long views down the whole New River. This home probably has more European white oak inside it than you'll ever see. It really warms up the place considerably. It makes the house much more livable. So the drop ceilings that you'll find in the great room, they mimic what's going on with the architecture of the exterior as well. We have some of these same long, clean lines that really define the spaces in some creative ways. The kitchen is a great example of merging casual spaces and formal ideas in one space. I think you'll find this kitchen has a variety of materials from super sleek cabinets and countertops. The kitchen is really the heart of the house, where the stairs from the second floor come down. It has two ways to access it from the great room, and it's also got a really interesting glass bridge connection to the guest wing of the house. Over in the guest wing, there is a pretty phenomenal screening room, and there's these vertical dividers that are designed to really either close off the space for a full media experience or to open up and really connect two spaces of that screening room. And those vertical dividers, they are, again, it's something you see on the exterior of the house, and it's a theme that we bring through the interior as well. The master suite consists of the master bedroom, a sitting area, an expansive master bathroom, closets, and there's also a little gym tucked to the side. Once you go in and enter the master suite, you really get a sense of these vertical fins that I spoke about on the exterior. These fins, they provide a little more privacy. The bathing areas are really spectacular as well. It's almost like an outdoor shower. I hope you enjoyed exploring this house with me. This house in Fort Lauderdale, it really sums up that Florida living, that coastal living. For me, personally, I just love the way that it advances those timeless concepts of modernism from Florida's past. Thank you for watching, and thank you for exploring this home with me. It's really one of my favorites, and I hope you liked it too.
Coming up just after the break, we are in NoHo at the live-work loft of a designer well known in the industry for his celebration of vibrant color. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we're in NoHo on Bleecker Street at the live-work loft of designer Raymond Boozer. This is where Raymond honed his reputation for color and pattern to create a space that inspires him every day. See what I mean?
Hi, I'm Raymond Boozer from Apartment 48 Interiors. Welcome to my home in NoHo. My designs are always optimistic, often emphasizing bright colors and patterns. I love to tie in my personal interests like music, travel, and fashion. But more than anything, I always set out to tell a story. So let me tell you the story of this place. This lounge is where I start every morning with a cup of coffee. I've reupholstered this sofa several times, but I was never really happy until I found this floral velvet. I think it perfectly matches the edgy but glamorous vibe of my home. I made the choice to paint over the exposed brick. I think it creates a cooler, more subtle texture and allows all the art to pop. I wanted this living room to be dramatic but relaxing, so there's a lot of give and take with color and finish. I had this custom bookcase made and I painted it bright blue so that it becomes the focal point of the room. It holds my design books, magazines, and objects I've collected from my travels over the years. This brilliant rug is another major splash of color. And of course, since it's such an interesting pattern, I didn't want to cover it up, so I used a lucite coffee table. Oh, and I can't forget, one of my favorite elements is hanging right above me. After all, what's a good entertaining space without its own disco ball? We have an office, but my dining table serves as my personal workspace. It's a great place for client meetings, as well as a great place to sit down for a meal. I had the chairs reupholstered in an ECAT fabric, which I think adds a lot of color and texture. And lastly, I found this vintage chandelier at a flea market, and I had it rewired with some fun crystals. It adds the perfect amount of sparkle and lighting to the area. Now let me show you where the real work gets done. Right off the living space, we needed a place for my employees to work, so we built this office. I wanted an open and airy atmosphere, so I added this industrial window. I think it gives a true warehouse vibe, but it also allows me to see everything that I'm working on. Enough with the living, enough with the working. Now let me show you my bedroom. My bedroom is the one spot I try not to bring my work. It's small, but it's probably my favorite room in the apartment. I used soft surfaces like my custom headboard, and I went with a romantic theme and colors. I'm obsessed with photography, so this room is a collection of photographs I've gathered from over the years. I love fashion, so my master bedroom wouldn't be complete without an awesome closet. Thanks for stopping by Apartment 48. I hope you enjoyed my home as much as I enjoyed creating it. See you at the next project.
I can't believe the show's already over. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, because we're gonna keep giving you these amazing homes.